Uh-huh. Why does the pitcher move on the mound?
Angles.
Angles. He's trying to expose something within the hitter, right? So why would I let him do that to me? With some of our high-level hitters, one of the things that we commonly bring up is talking about angles, right? The pitcher's angles and the ones that they're creating, and also the angles that you're creating as a hitter. And sometimes we know if we look at somebody like Scherzer or Chris Sale, they come at very different arm slots. And even though it might still be an inside pitch to you as a right-handed hitter in the box, they're coming to the zone from different angles. So even though it's just an inside pitch, we might have to approach different type of pitches differently because of the angles at which I'm creating and they're creating, right? Not all inside pitches are created equally. If he moves, I got the whole box. Why do I stay the same and let him move and get an angle on me? Especially if he's a guy like I used to do. I used to sit on the very edge of the mound, throw this way, throw across my body, and throw a cutter. So now all these guys feel like they're speeding up and I'm hitting them off the end of the bat on every single guy, right? So if he changes an angle, you got to think about it, my shapes against his shapes. If he's throwing, right, and again, it doesn't mean it matters what I'm hunting, right? Because if he's throwing across his body, but he's throwing an arm side, okay, well, that's different than if he's throwing across his body and throwing a slider. You get what I'm saying? Those are different shapes. So depending on what I'm hunting, and I'm not going up there going, I'm going to hit everything, right? I know, and also too, for example, he might have a certain pitch that is not my best, and it might be, sometimes I need to hit his slider. Sometimes I need to hit his changeup, right? He loves to go to it 2-0 or 0-1. As soon as he gets ahead, he goes to his changeup. Well, I like his changeup more than I like his, arm side fastball that's doing whatever because of, right now today I feel tied up a little bit, and the changeup is he throws it down in the zone. I like it down there. When he throws his fastball, he goes high spin up the top of the zone with some arm side or whatever, right? It's like, okay, for me today, the changeup would be something better for me to hunt. Where when I'm younger, it's like, oh, I'm always hunting fastball. It's like, well, what if his changeup is ass? Like that would be a great pitch, and he loves to go to it, right? And it's not even a good pitch. It just offsets that fastball. You get what I'm saying? And you set up in the box like this, the catcher probably would have no idea you even moved, right? Because it's so many hitters and they're slightly angles in orientation. But I'm just not letting him get an angle on me, right? So I'll watch Miggy sometime. He sets up like this. Bro, the next to bat, he's like this. The next to bat, he's standing tall. The next to bat, he's low, right? Think about it. When guys get 2 strikes, they usually get lower, right? Because why? People are also usually spinning stuff in the dirt, right? And then also, too, if a guy's throwing a high fastball, like Miggy sometimes would stand up, and so he can feel more like above it, right? And some of those things. So what I'm saying is you don't need to have the same batting stance every single time. And this isn't new school. This is, if you go all the way back, Pete Rose used to talk about it all the time.
You do one of 6 things when you get into a wall. You know what they are?
Yeah.
Okay?
No, tell me.
All right? Closer to the plate. Further away from the plate. Up in the box. Back in the box. Choke up in the bat more. Choke down in the bat more. Make it heavier, make it lighter.
But also you have another one that he didn't talk about, which is this way and this way, right? I can open up, I can close off, right? Depending on what he's doing, I can just change my angle instead of changing my swing. Same swing, change my orientation. You get what I'm saying?
Never change your swing. Your swing got you to the big leagues. You change your positioning in the batter's box.
How me and Donnie used to talk about it too is we just change where your center field is, right? Think about it. His release point is where the ball's coming from. That's your new middle, right? So if you're facing Chris Sale and he's the opposite of Scherzer, Scherzer's going to be way over here. Sale's going to be way over here. And then they have different shapes. Some guys, again, like I said, they might throw from that angle and do something else, right? So what I'm saying is like, keep that in mind, right? Where it's like, it doesn't have to be one. We're slowly building on top of it, but I want you to open where it's like, I can use my swing and change some angles and combat some certain guys. You get what I'm saying? In his head, he would take the field, right, his diamond, and he would shift it or he would shift it. But, shifting it, right? Yes, the lines are where the lines are, but in his head, he would change the angles, and that would help him create a swing that would play off that pitch.
Yeah, I like that.
You know how you're like, I couldn't even think of how I'd hit that pitch? Same thing, right? Some guy's you're gonna face some dudes, you're like, yo, that is disgusting. Yeah. He's creating some crazy shape, right? How do you know how I'm gonna hit it? Well, it's like, well, what if I change the rules? Yeah. Your brain's operating within this rules. I have to do this. Yeah. Well, what if I told you could back off the plate? Yeah. What if I told you could open up? What if I told you could do, you could change all these different angles? Well, then now, that's why, again, when a guy's really spinning a lot, and they're like, get up in the box, try to hit it before it's not breaking as much so you don't have to deal with all that depth, right? Same thing, it's like, dude, if he's creating certain things and I know how my body moves, I can change these little angles. Yeah. Or, like I said, I used to have a guy too that would set up really close when he wanted to bait guys to throw into him, and then he would just stride open. Yeah. Now we also add in movement on top of that, and we kind of talk about how we don't need to line up and be in the exact same spot or have the same strategy just because it's on the same part of the plate. And this is something I was going through with Brock here.